Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome back to the workshops. My name is Savip, and today we're going to learn on how we can feminize or masculinize our voices using some techniques and methods and exercises that I will present to you today. First and foremost, I need to make clear that voice hygiene and warming up your voice is paramount to getting your voice started. So talking about voice hygiene, what do we want to care about? Mostly we want to keep our voices hydrated. When we use the voice, we have little flaps that we call vocal cords. We call them also vocal folds, and those can vibrate sometimes at extreme speeds of a few hundred times per second, depending on what pitches we're doing. So keeping those hydrated does allow some kind of mucus to be at the surface and act as a lubricant that is necessary for the good phonation process of our voice. Now, another thing you might take into account is that certain behaviors and certain substances that you can take, such as coffee, alcohol, or if you're a smoker, all of these things can make your voice a lot drier and thus make your practice much harder and potentially makes it a bit more likely that your voice might harm itself. But generally speaking, if your voice is dry, you can still use your voice to a certain extent. You just have to be extra careful on how you use your voice and really try to plan your voice work around avoiding those breathy, what am I talking about? Those more dry episodes of your vocal folds. Certain medications, such as spironolactone, can also be responsible for making your voice a lot drier. And those, of course, are medications that if some of you take it, don't stop taking it, please. This is really important for whatever you're doing with this. So please just try to not work at the same time as you take those medications. All right? Now, with that being said, hydration is really important, and you at least want to be drinking water 10 to 15 minutes before doing any voice work. That is mostly because when you drink water, it doesn't directly hydrate the vocal folds. Thankfully, our body is generally done pretty well, and the water will go to our stomach, not to our lungs. And the vocal folds are down the lung pipe, if you will. So thankfully, that saves us from choking on water and drowning, but it means that the hydration process of the voice will take a little bit longer. Typically, you will want to wait 10 to 15 minutes and maybe do some gentle phonation, so just some gentle hums or some gentle warm-ups that we will be doing a little sample of in a little bit. All right, now let us just talk about how voice functions and what we use to describe it, the main basics of it. So this is the power source filter model, and it's a very simple model that says the following. We will use air from our lungs, push that air up towards the larynx, or what we also call the voice box. It's right behind the Adam's apple. And so within that larynx, you'll find the vocal folds. Those can vibrate thanks to the air that you provide from below. Once they're set in vibration, they create what we call a source sound. This can create different pitches, different textures of the voice. And now, once that source sound moves up and reverberates inside all of the space, it's going to create more dark or more bright sounds. Typically, the filter is going to be talking about, or rather the filter is going to be referring to how much space is available above the vocal folds. And so if you have like a really big space available, you get a really dark sounding voice. If you get a really small space available, then you get a really bright and much more feminine leaning voice. And so we can modify all of these three parameters to make our voice more feminine, more masculine. But this is just how voice works, not specifically what are the things that we're trying to work on to make it more feminine or more masculine. So let's talk about what makes voice sound more masculine. So very simply put, as you can see with this very small little graph here, is that the vocal tract can be quite different depending on how much testosterone exposure we've had in our body. Typically, testosterone exposure isn't equal to everyone. You might have a lot of testosterone in your body and it might affect your voice very little. So this really is different from one individual to another. That being said, what does testosterone do? Well, testosterone does three things to your voice. It makes the available space a lot bigger. Thus, it gives you a much darker voice. It drops your larynx. Then the second thing that testosterone does to your voice is it makes the vocal folds vibrate a lot slower, which creates a lower pitch. And the third thing that testosterone does to your voice is it adds a lot of vocal fold mass, which makes your voice a lot thicker, right? Just like so. And these three things is what testosterone does to your voice. In the case of voice feminization, we're going to want to, minimize the effects of this testosterone, trying to go for a higher pitch, trying to go for a smaller size, and trying to go for a softer sound. And in the case of masculinization, we're going to want to mimic those behaviors. Okay? Now, with that being said, let's do some vocal warm-up together. You might unmute yourself for this. What I'm going to do is we're going to go through some of these warm-up sounds. So I go first, I count to 3, and then you do after me. Sounds good? All right, let's try this. All right, so I'm going to start with an O sound, very simply going from the lowest pitch to the highest pitch. Oh. And you try this in 3, 2, 1. Oh. And back down. Very good. Now let's try with different sounds. Something like a Z sound, as in zoo. Z. I go first, you go after. And you go in 3, 2, 1. Back down. All right, very good. Awesome. Now, all of these sounds, they are what we call softies or SOVTs. They stand for semi-occluded vocal tract exercises, but that's a mouthful. Simply put, we are creating some kind of closure at the level of the mouth so as to counteract the sheer pressure that comes from our lungs. Okay, so the idea is by doing an O shape, you put your lips in the way, like in a pouty position, or when you do the Z sound, zzz, you have your tongue behind your teeth, zzz, kind of making the intraoral pressure, so the pressure inside of your mouth, a little bit stronger, thus helping negate the pressure from below the vocal folds. Okay, now, as per usual in those workshops, I'm going to have up on stage 2 people who want to feminize their voices and 2 people who want to masculinize their voices. And I'm going to get started with mask voices. If you're interested in masculinizing your voice, you can raise your hand, jump in place, or use the hand emoji. All right, anyone interested? Lettuce head. You want to make your voice more masculine? Yeah, all right, come on stage. Come on, come on. Applause to Lettuce Head.
There we go, there we go. Sorry, my mic was to my headphones, so...
You're good, no worries. All right, we have 10 minutes starting now. All right, so Lettuce. First time here on stage?
Yeah, first time here ever. I've watched like some of y'all Twitch stuff, but I've never really been here. It just no.
It's all right. All right. So is this all new to you? All of this theory and generally voice work?
Kinda. I've like gone through like all your resources and stuff, and really for me, it's just been like trial and error. Like right now. I've been told I sound like a 15-year-old little boy.
We're chill.
Nah,
I was thinking,
yeah, hold on. My controller's dying on stage, dog. My controller got stage fright.
It's okay.
I got you. Anyways, continue on.
Yeah, sure thing. Just stay alive.
I will. I'm right here. I got the batteries right next to me.
Gotcha. All Alright, so I'm already hearing quite a lot of voice modification in your case. Like, you're not speaking like all the way up here, you know. So there's definitely some stuff you've done, like, yeah, like you're kind of like here, yeah, I would say.
Just kind of
Alright,
been in this rut of like this voice. It's been like this for like a few years. And like I've been on the resources, it's hard finding masculine voice and stuff like that, you know? Just
yeah, I agree. It's a lot of trans femme people wanting to feminize their voices. So.
But that's fine, that's fine. I love all y'all trans. I love all y'all women. Y'all nice as hell. Anyways.
Yeah, no worries. We're all over the place. It's fine. So, I kind of want to see what your range is like pitch-wise. So how about you give me a slide from your highest pitch down to your lowest pitch.
Okay, I got you. Is there like any like certain volume you want me to do? Like
not specifically, just I want to see a sweep of your range.
Oh, that's about as deep as I can go. Maybe a little bit deeper. Yeah. Not really. When I press on my throat, it does, but I don't want to do that.
Wow, no, don't press on your throat. That's not good.
No, it's not good at all. I'm just trying to naturally reach down there. It's just hard to reach down. Reach down there.
Reach down there. Eventually, your larynx is going to drop all the way down to your feet. Get the darkest voice ever.
Nah. No, I don't. I do want to deepen it though. That's one thing.
I want a deep voice.
Oh, yeah. I want a deep elf voice. Nah.
We can't get there. I mean, I'm seeing like quite the good pitch here. So, I feel like around here, kind of where you are at, like a solid D3. Oh, is music theory something you're familiar with, or not so much?
I mean, kinda. There's, I was in band for a while, but like hardly. It escapes my brain as soon as it. Yeah.
No, like I'm asking like to know like about super complex time signatures and like chromatic scales.
I know the D, E, C.
Yeah.
D so sharp. Yeah.
C D F G A B C. So we know the pitches. So I feel like a D3, pretty good. Pretty solid. Nice. And now we're gonna do a second thing.
Okay.
We have gauged where your pitch can go, somewhere around D3, D sharp 3, pretty low. But as you know, it's not the only thing that matters in making your voice more masculine, right? We also want to get the resonance, or rather the vocal tract size, as big as possible. I mean,
you don't want to sound like super big, or like you're kind of like a troll or something, you know?
but like dark enough that it sounds, kind of there. So let's see. To achieve this, we're gonna do just some gentle whispers. What I want you to say is the sentence "pat that cat" on a whisper. Something like "pat that cat." Give it a try.
Pat that cat.
Now, right now, careful. You're doing
Pat that cat. So your voice.
Yeah.
adding some voice.
Okay.
So let's just try to go just for a whisper, really gentle. Don't push too much air.
Pat that cat. It's just difficult. I'm not a whisperer.
I'm not one who whispers. Okay. You're gonna want to do just a gentle sigh, like. There you go. No, there you go. Oh, just make sure really quick.
Yeah.
On your quick menu, go on the option for sound. And make sure that noise suppression is turned off. And that the mic activation threshold is all the way down to 0%.
Okay. I know whenever I have it up, it echoes and I feel really bad. I can just turn up my thing really.
It's okay. It's fine.
There we go. But
we can manage.
Yeah, difficult.
Lettuce, after me. The sigh you did before, that was the perfect whisper. Yeah, and then from that whisper, hello, how are you?
Hello, how are you?
Okay, so there is some passive involvement of the vocal folds, but it's not too bad. It's from here.
Yeah,
There you go.
yeah.
Did
I understand what
perfect.
you
You
mean
got
now. I understand what you mean now.
Yes, you got it. Okay, now we make that pad go from this really small size towards a much bigger size. To try this, yeah. Okay, just doing it, yeah.
And there.
So you can try to jump like for a really small size pad directly to a really big size. But if you're not familiar with modifying the size, you might want to like just take it step by step. Pat, 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 pat. Give it a try.
That's
Yeah,
yeah. Sound like an old man.
that one was really good. Nice. And then from here,
But not God.
yes, that was really solid. Okay, so compare those two. Whisper.
But not God.
Yeah, exactly, just like that. And you can also just take your hand and put it gently on your neck. Don't push on your throat, but just like let it rest there.
Got you. Yeah.
And then from here, you can try again. See how you feel that bump on your neck going down?
Yeah.
Okay, very good. It's not prominent enough for most people who haven't had exposure to testosterone. Maybe you had some exposure to testosterone?
No, I can like ever so slightly, like this, ever so slightly. It's like right there, right down the middle.
It's okay, yeah. If you
Tickle
can,
it.
if you know where it is, that's good. And when you do those resonance exercises to get from this really small size to that really big size, you can also use the feeling of your larynx and your neck to kind of gauge, okay, am I doing a really bright voice or
A really dark voice.
Yeah. I understand. I got you. I feel that. I felt it before too. I remember someone in like the Discord servers telling me about that. And I'm like, that's weird. That's weird. But, like,
You're
shit,
okay.
what don't you- Yeah.
And so now, sorry, I just love your energy. So let's go for that really dark pat. Pat. And then we're gonna try and close the vocal folds again.
But not God.
Humbling me. Put the cat. Pet. Put.
Okay.
Oh, that God. Okay.
Something like that. Pet.
Yeah. But not God. Yeah.
Put the cat.
And we could try to read 1 or 2 sentences of this, see where that takes us. Before doing any, let's see, I mean, you're already doing it. So, all right, how about you read
I'm a
that
natural.
sentence? You're natural. So let's try and see, can you read that first sentence with your current voice? No modification attempted.
No mat. Okay. That mad brat sat on the flat mat.
Okay,
That mad brat sat on a flat mat. So it's already like quite strong. It's like already a bit dark, but it's going to add like higher pitch. That mad brat sat on a flat mat.
So now, we're going to try to go
Don't get
lower.
me. If you want me to hire it, I can sound like a girl, but that's just me like trying to modify my girl to a girl voice. That's way easier. I used to do that all the time. People were scared of me.
No.
Nah.
Remember? Okay, no. Okay, now we
boys, we man, we go low.
so. All right.
Okay. I can't do
Okay.
it.
Now you can attempt to take the first sentence, the first word, sorry. That mad brat.
Yeah.
Do it in a whisper. That mad brat. Then go for the darker whisper. Yes. And then from here.
Oh, that mad brat.
That mad brat. That
Oh,
mad
yes.
brat.
Yes. And then read the sentence.
That mad brat sat on that flat mat.
The
You got it. Yeah.
the mad brat sat on that flat mat.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Compared to the first one. That mad brat sat on a flat mat.
That mad brat sat.
That mad brat sat on a flat mat. The bread mat sat on a flat mat.
Okay. So.
I'm dyslexic, okay?
It's okay. Sorry.
I know. No,
didn't
you're
choose
good,
the best
you're
sentence
good.
for
I'm
this.
just joking
Yeah.
around. I'm not sensitive. I'm not sensitive at all, trust.
Okay, cool. Okay, like you hear a substantial difference, right? That mad brat
Yeah.
sat.
That mad brat sat.
So there is both the resonance playing a role here, getting a bigger size, but also equally the pitch is helping a lot. I think by default your voice is already quite dark. I would. It's,
See,
Like,
the
if
bad
you
is
want-
I've been forcing it for the past 2 years.
oh yeah. I mean, hey,
It is kind of
word
dumb.
has
I've
paid
always
off.
been told when I was a kid. Yeah,
I mean,
true.
Here you go. But like generally, I would say you probably would want to do more work with your pitch, like especially given the lower range that's available. Like you're generally speaking about, like that mad brat around A3.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you could like I have seen that your range can go all the way down to D3, D sharp 3 around that area.
So like there's potential for your voice to be down here.
So yeah,
Yeah.
just work at it, and I'm sure you'll get it in no
I'm just
time.
saying. Okay. Yeah, I need to. What I really need to do is start doing what all y'all do is just exercise my voice. I just talk when I need to talk.
I mean, heck,
But like,
talking is also
exercise
really
key.
important. So
I mean, how else do people? Yeah, true. I mean, you just need to talk naturally. I mean, I don't know, but
both are best.
there's
you
a
know,
will to the way. Yeah.
doing some practice on your own and doing some speaking and kind of focusing on what your voice is doing is the best way to go about this. Anyways, our time is up. But really good job, Lettuce. Everyone, please give a round of applause to Lettuce Head.
Thank you. Yeah, applaud at me. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Thank you guys. You make me blush. You're making me blush.
Applause the lettuce.
Oh,
Okay. All right.
let's see.
Thank you, Lettuce.
I'll move for the next person to practice on stage.
All right. Next up on stage, I want someone who wants to feminize their voices. Marina, I see you raise your hand. Move up on stage, please. All right. Applause to Marina. Oh, hi there. Hello. All right. Marina, we got 10 minutes starting now. Is this the very first time you're here?
No, this is fourth time?
Okay. Have you already been on stage before then?
Yes, like 2 sessions ago.
Okay, gotcha. Did you have the same avatar or am I just crazy?
No, I changed it.
I figured. Okay, so, well then, you already know most of voice theory. Let's see. So, what did you want to do today with your voice? Given I'm supposing you did some practice since 2 weeks ago. So, how has your voice practice been coming along? Let me know about it.
Yeah, it's becoming it's going well, but I want to make my voice a little less whispery. Uh,
By whispery, do you mean breathy or do you mean that it's too soft to your liking?
maybe a little too soft, because
Yeah.
because I always have to talk in a calm voice to yeah, so that it works. But when I talk like maybe an angry voice, it changes.
Okay. It's like whenever you're like just soft like that, and then like you get
Angry and you turn into back like into like some kind of really masculine
okay.
No.
I figured as much. So, no, I'm not saying you do that, but okay.
No.
So you're bothered by the fact that your voice is too soft and too quiet. Okay, then let's talk about it. I want to do some reading. Let's get something like more normal sentences. Okay, perfect. Let me know when the slide has loaded for you.
Yes, it's loaded.
All right, perfect. Then, well, now with your current voice, can you give me a read of that very first sentence, please?
Hello, good morning. How are you?
Nice. Hello, good morning. How are you? So I'm hearing like a very soft voice. It's really bright. Hello, good morning. Maybe it's like a little bit low in pitch, and maybe a little bit too dark. Morning. Hello, good morning. How are you? And your voice is indeed generally softer. So, two things here. Voice is really soft, yes, and your pitch is a little bit too low. Okay, but not across the entire sentence. Only like on morning and how are you at the end of sentences. So we can already try and make the end of the sentences a little bit higher in pitch. Instead of hello, good morning, we could try hello, good morning. Give that a try.
Hello, good morning. How are you?
Very good. Careful here. How are you?
Yeah.
You. So this time, ooh, the pitch is E3, so it's low for a feminine voice, not exactly, but it's getting there. How are you? So here what you want to do is either aim for a higher pitch instead of how are you. You could aim for how are you, like a bit higher in pitch, but there is not like enough range and motion and it doesn't really get the emotion out. So either you start at a lower, either you start at a higher pitch, how are you? Or you keep the same pitch, how are you? But you might make extra effort on getting the lower pitch to stay really bright. Okay? So let's try option 1, which would be to go at a higher pitch. Match my pitch here. Ah. How are you?
How are you?
Perfect. Let's break the monotony now. How are you?
How are you?
Okay, we'll hear in the start.
Oh,
How are you?
how are you?
How are you? See how it trails down really far? You. Okay. So the way I like to see it is there's like a lot of pitches in between the you and the ooh, right? So either you can do you or you can do you or you or you, but then that's just too flat. So having that big drop is kind of nice. It adds emotion, it adds intent in the voice, and most importantly, this is a question. So if you're like, how are you? Robot asking a question, it's not really going to convey a lot of meaning. So let's be careful here. What pitch do we land on? Can you give me another attempt on the how are you?
How are you?
How are you? So we end down at D3. Okay, let's talk about that. So D3, quite a low pitch. I want you to match it. Ooh. Okay, that's a different resonance now. That's a different size. That was already brighter than before. Ooh. But just to make it make extra sure of it, we're gonna say you on a whisper. So it's just gonna be you. Okay, let's try a dark you whisper. Very good, and let's brighten that whisper. You, you, you. Yes. And from here, we're going to aim back for the D3. You. Try it out. Very good. You. Now try you are. You are.
You are.
Careful.
Are.
You. Got a little bit darker. You. Make sure it's really bright. You. You
You are.
very good. And I can try yes, you are. And you can try to just go back and forth between this pitch and that pitch. You are. Always aiming for the lower pitch to be as bright as you can make it. Give it a try.
You are. You are. You are.
Careful, you were doing you are. It started to sound like a melody. It was nice. I'm not gonna lie. You are. But okay. It did go a little bit darker. So maybe that really low pitch is something that you might want to work a little bit more on the future. Perhaps for you, setting on a really low pitch like D3 might kind of trigger old behaviors of your masculine voice. After all, D3 is a pitch that we can hear in a femme voice, although a low one, but it's
Also a pitch that is also like really common in like masculine voices, right? You. So
that's where it kind of becomes a little bit tricky to deal with. So I would say it's a bit easier to stay at higher pitches. And also, this goes into the first thing that you were asking for. It helps you to be louder. Being loud at low pitches is not common for feminine voices. I mean, like I can talk, hello, good morning, how are you? But like if I go louder, hello, good morning, how are you? I start to sound like a little buzzy gremlin, right? So if I'd like to get a femme voice that is louder, I might want to go to a higher pitch. You know, for example, hello, good morning, how are you? Hello, good morning, how are you? And now it can be a lot louder, and our ears expect higher pitches to be louder, to kind of, well, they expect higher, louder pitches to be closer to feminine voices. Although, be careful because some masculine voices, or most masculine voices, will also go higher in pitch to be louder. So, pitch here is going to be really helpful. Match my pitch here. Okay, let's try to push it a little bit. Okay, try this. Okay, so we're not exactly getting more mass. I think we had a bit more loudness on the first one. So let's try again from all right, very good. Now let's go for a really soft one. I compare it to the stronger one. That's very good. And now, let's go soft first. Hello, good morning.
good morning.
Now let's go for the stronger one. Ah. Take a breath afterwards. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Okay, that's lots better. Okay, awesome. Hello, good morning. So, I do think that still your voice is a little bit weak at those higher pitches. So, to do this, you're going to want to get louder and involve a bit more vocal fold mass in the process. Think about like how you're doing like a physical effort, you know, like you're lifting something really heavy. Imaginary object number one here. You know, as I clench my muscles, my voice gets a lot thicker as a result. Maybe you're just someone who doesn't have a lot of vocal fold mass to begin with. Would you say that your masculine voice was a bit more buzzy at the start? Because maybe you could experiment a bit more like
At like lower pitches, because masculine voices tend to have a bit more vocal fold mass. You could
get that experience and that feeling of having a bit more mass engaged at those lower pitches and then incorporate that to your higher pitches. Okay?
Okay.
So, hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Awesome. Now let's try to change the pitch. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
All right, careful there. Hello, good morning. So as you change the pitch, your resonance does move around a little bit. It doesn't happen when you do hello, good morning. So it really shows that when you modify the pitch, your resonance will tend to break apart a little bit. What I would recommend you do is you gauge what pitch range you say that sentence is, that sentence in. So hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. So that would be hello up to like D4 morning. So A sharp free to D4. And you want to practice saying that sentence monotonously whilst keeping the same brightness. So, for example, hello, good morning. 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 And then you're like, oh, that one was dark. So you can work again on that pitch. And once you're solid on all these pitches, you can go again to hello, good morning. And then have a voice that's a lot more stable with brightened pitches. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
All right, our time is up, but really good stuff, Marina. I can tell that your voice is already kind of getting some of that practice in, so that's really good. Just be mindful, careful with how the pitch moves around. It can make your voice a little bit darker, and especially the lower pitches, these are the ones that you really want to pay attention to. And for loudness, I would recommend to use those higher pitches and slowly work on getting a bit more loudness in those. Just always remember, gently and slowly push your voice. Avoid breathy sounds at all costs. When you go louder, you're going to want to use more air. One scenario that could happen when you get more air is this. Your voice gets really breathy and not necessarily stronger. It's the configuration of having more air, but also more closure. Right? That being the motion of the vocal folds opening and closing. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Best of all your practice. And everyone, please give a round of applause to Marina.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. So, next up on stage, I want someone who wants to learn how to masculinize their voices. Who might be interested? If you're interested in making your voice more masculine, please raise your hand, jump in place. Okay. All right. Sharpie-kun. All right, come on, move up on stage. Come on, come on, come on. All right, applause to Sharpie. Wow. I think I never saw someone clear that jump. That was pretty insane. Good job. Okay, we got 10 minutes starting now. Make sure you're not muted because I can't hear you right now.
Oops, let me just lower this and turn the suppression. Here you go.
All right, perfect. I'm hearing you just fine. Awesome.
Okay.
So now let's see. Sharpie, is this the first time you've been in one of those workshops?
Well, I've been on the in the audience like maybe twice or so. I've been wanting to be here, but I was just like so scared. So, yeah.
No need to be scared. No worries. They're not going to bite. And if they do, I'm going to be mad. Okay, so don't worry, you're fine here. So what's your experience with voice? Any voice acting, any singing that you've done before?
No,
Well,
really
you
not.
haven't. You have in some of those workshops, so I suppose you kind of already know what I mean when I refer to like a smaller size or a bigger size. You're probably already aware of some of the exercises we do here. So have you had any chance to do some practice on your own?
Well, I tried to, but at the same time, I was like, I don't know if I'm doing it right and stuff like that. So, and it's not
Okay.
consistent to the
Okay,
things
I
like
can
that.
get that. So when you mean consistency, is it when you're just like generally you kind of like shoot for a lower voice, or do you like really attempt to like maximize getting a bigger size, getting as low as you can in pitch? And have you been able to do some like just sit down at your desk and do some focus practice, just like have the mic on, press record, say something, stop, listen back to it, and then think of what you just did of your voice, and then repeat that cycle. Is that something you've already been able to do, or not that much?
No, not really. I was like on and off into doing that voice stuff.
Okay. So I'm already hearing some encouraging stuff. Like you're definitely not speaking all the way up here. So, and also like you're portraying like quite a lot of vocal fold mass here. Like, nah, I wasn't doing that. Like, nah, like that was pretty thick. Okay. So I think you have some good potential with this. So let's see. I want to gauge what your pitch range is like. How about you give me a slide from your highest pitch down to your lowest pitch? Give it a
Okay.
try.
Okay. I'm so on it. Maybe start.
It's okay.
Ah.
Okay, like a D3. Awesome. Ta -ta -ta -ta. Can you hold that D3, that lower pitch that you just did?
Uh,
So you went just slightly higher at D sharp 3, but that's pretty good. Okay. Also, it's quite thick. I'm not sure if your bike is doing some compression for you, but this is interesting. Okay. Okay, so, all right, next thing I want to do is get your voice into a darker place. A really, really dark place. So how do we do this? We like to take some whispers, so we remove the vocal fold vibrating from the equation. Let's try this. How about you give me a bright pat, that cat on a whisper. Pat, pat, cats. Pat, that cat. Very good. Now make that pat, that cat brighter, darker. So we're going to increase the size. Pat, 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 that cat.
okay. Pat, 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 pat.
Very solid. Awesome. Similarly as what I asked of lettuce before, can you put your hand on your neck as well? And can you tell me, don't push down, just feel for it. Do you feel any bump on your on your on your neck, or not at all? A
I
little
do
bit.
feel a bump. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So as you do, we're gonna do the pat that cat again, and I want you to like pay attention to how it moves down. Pat, 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 that cat.
Okay. Pat, 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 that cat.
Very good. Did you feel how it traveled downwards?
Yeah.
All right, that's awesome. Yeah, cool. Yeah. All right. So now from here, what I want to do is we're gonna get some sentences to practice with. Why not? And I want you to say, pat that cat on that dark whisper, and then we're gonna slowly close the vocal folds, going from that whisper into that breathy sound, into that full phonation sound, right? Something like
Pat that cat. Pat that cat.
give it a try.
Ok. Hold on. Ouais, quoi? Je sais pas, en ce moment, je suis comme en train de faire quelque chose. Ok. Ok.
Yes.
I cannot really do well the transition between two of them. So just like go
It's
from one to the other.
it's okay.
Pat that cat.
Okay, that's down D3. That's your lowest. That's really good. Okay.
Pat that cat.
All right. Then from here, can we keep that same quality of voice and try and say
Pat that mad brat sat on that flat mat.
The mud brat sat on that flat mat.
yeah, that's super good. Okay, try the next one.
The crowbar opened the subpar car.
The crowbar opened the subpar car.
Nice.
This
This time we're going to say the O as in door. So
ooh,
we can try to say the word door like this.
door. The store doors creaked more on the fourth floor.
The store doors creaking more on the fourth floor.
All right, very good. Very good. Okay, how about the next one? We're going to do this time an oo sound as in you.
You, the new you is no taboo. You grew, it's true.
The new you is no taboo. You grew, it's true.
Very good, very good.
The new you is no taboo. You grew, it's true.
Awesome. All right.
Ooh.
So now, what we got from your voice is like
A really dark sound and a quite low pitch, but you might agree with me, it's like just a bit too soft and gentle. We might want to like have a bit more vocal fold mass behind it.
to kind of like get like a bit of a boomier, a bit of a buzzier sound. So let's try to go for more normal sentences. All right.
Oh,
From here, we're first going to go monotonous, and then we're going to break the monotony into something more intonated. So let's try.
oh, hello, good morning, how are you?
Hello. Oh, hello. Oh my god. I forgot to drink a little bit of water. Hold on.
You're okay. Oh yeah, water really important. Yes, yes, yes. That's a friendly reminder for me to have some water myself.
Okay. Hello. Good morning. How are you?
Yeah.
Hello, good morning, how are you?
And now let's try to break the monotony and try.
Hello, good morning, how are you?
Hello. Good morning. How are you?
Awesome. Great. Can we try the next one?
I'll have a cup of coffee, please.
Have a cup of coffee, please.
Ooh, okay. Really cool here. You went to C#3, so that's the lowest pitch I've heard from you so far. Great. I'll have a cup of coffee, please. All right. Very good. Can we try the next one?
I forgot to take my hormones.
I forgot to take my hormones.
I forgot to take my hormones.
You went down to B2. You're like in the second octave. I don't know if you realize, but it's really low. Okay. Somehow you're just reaching lower and lower pitches. How is it gonna, when is it gonna stop?
Oh, are you really sure about that?
Okay. Are you are you really sure about that?
Are you really sure about that?
All right, try this.
Are you really sure about that?
Okay. Are you really sure about that? Oh.
Okay, yeah, you ended back down on that. About that. Okay, ooh, B2, almost A sharp too. Wow, okay, that's awesome. Now let's add this, ask this as a normal question. Are you really sure about that?
Are you oh my god. Are you
Take your
really
time.
sure about that?
Yeah, awesome. Are you really sure about that? Okay, awesome. Da 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 da. All right. So our time is up, but I want to try one last little thing. I want you to mimic right after me, okay?
Okay.
All right, after me. Uh.
Uh
Okay, I didn't expect you to go that thick. But okay, now we're gonna try to make it really thick. Like this really, really pressed sound.
okay. Uh
Very good. Careful as you notice. It went a little higher in pitch. No, from that really that a bit higher pitch here. You want to take it down a little bit lower. See how far down you can take it. Give it a try.
okay, hold on. Oh my god, I'm panicking. Hold on.
You're doing great.
Okay. So what did we do before? Just a second, just a second.
Oh.
Uh uh
Oh no. Okay. I think your I think your mic was like that's not human voice anymore, so it cut you off. So how far were you able to go? Like were you able to like do a few steps?
a little few, but not as much as without doing the
Yeah.
constricting.
Yeah. So what we did here is not specifically constrict. Well, we did get the vocal folds a bit more closed and definitely a lot more beefy. Right? So that was to achieve a bit of a more increased vocal fold mass, to get a bit of that boomier sound. You actually can do this really well, and you can go all the way down to B2, just like explain how far down that is. Let me know when that slide is loaded for you. That means you kind of went down here in pitch, so you're like pretty much able to achieve this pitch range. I can hear like your mask voice right now evolves in this pitch range. Of course, these are suggested ranges, right? These are not like everyone's range. Like you don't have to be between E3 and E4. It's a suggestion to be feminine. You don't have to be between F2 to F3 to sound masculine. It's a suggestion. But still, most masculine voices fall in that area, and you just reached like the medium point, if not sometimes tickled that pitch here. So that was really awesome. You started here at the start of the lesson, and you gradually went down here. So all of these pitches are really amazing. Are you knowledgeable a little bit with music theory? Like, does do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si, do, or C, D, F, G, A, B, C, like, mean anything to you?
Don't be do that, no.
I mean, not like doing
Sorry about it.
exactly that, but like just knowing like the notes and notation, just to kind of like have a frame of reference to know where your pitch is at. Because it would be awesome to like play around with your voice here and like achieve lower and lower and lower and lower and lower pitches. So for this, I recommend you get some app. For monitoring your pitch, I have some suggestions here. So if you're on iOS, I recommend Nail the Pitch. If you're on Android, I recommend Vocal Pitch Monitor. These are just bare bone apps that will just tell you to use, just tell you what pitch you're at, nothing more, nothing less. Same for Singing Carrots if you want to do it on the computer. Although I think they ask for an account now, so there's other things you can find, just like general tuning apps can do that job for you. But anyways, Sharpie, that was really amazing. You did great. Yeah, just like Try to go for lower pitches, try to go for like a thicker sound, and work gradually in getting your range lower. You were able to achieve some crazy results. So yeah, watch the VOD when it comes out. I think you'll be pretty surprised at what you achieved. So yeah, everyone give a big round of applause to Sharpie. You killed it.
Savvy.
Okay. Now, up next on stage, I want someone who wants to feminize their voices. You've been already preemptively raising your hand. Lawful Piano, come up on stage. All right, come on, come on, come on. Everyone applause for Lawful Piano. All right, hello, hello.
Hello, hi. Hi.
Hi, hi, hello. We got 10 minutes starting from now. All right. Oof,
Okay.
I am a bit late on time. Whoops. So, let's see. First time here on stage or in the audience?
First time on stage. I've been in the audience a couple times before, though. I think this is like
Okay.
my third class that I've attended.
Awesome. Great. So, I'm already hearing quite a lot of voice work. Supposing that you started with
A voice like this.
which I have no idea
Yeah,
of.
that's about right.
Yeah, I figured about that area.
That's crazy. Also, all right.
Yeah.
So yeah. Well, you already have a lot going on in your voice. It's already very femme leaning. Do you have any idea of where you want to take this, those 10 minutes in terms of voice work, or do you kind of want like a general review of your voice?
Yeah, like a general review would be pretty nice. I could probably do some pitch behavior practice, some intonation work. That would be pretty fun, I guess. I'm not sure.
All right. So, if I like try to mimic your voice, I kind of feel like you're like around here. You're doing like those really well intonated sentences, but you're also like using quite a breathy voice. Like a lot of
yeah.
air is being lost past the vocal folds, and I worry that this might be a little bit drying to your voice and perhaps tiring on the long term. So maybe that's something that we might want to address. And also have that question for you. Would you say that your voice does get tired easily, or that your voice feels dry often, or not so much?
Not so much really. I'm
Okay.
not sure. Yeah.
Depends, I guess. You kind of rock like a lower fem range. I said like you're not like crazy low in pitch either, but like you're not like crazy high. You know, it's like you're kind of like in that middle range, kind of like me. So
Yeah.
that's pretty good. Yeah. So yeah. All right. So I want to do two things with your voice today. Maybe get it into like different intonations. Although you already seem to have a knack for getting those feminine intonations already. But I would definitely
you.
want to work on breathiness. Is breathiness a stylistic choice of yours, or is it something that kind of came with the package of getting to a femme voice?
I think now I feel like it's more of like a stylistic choice, but I mean we can like work on it a little bit now.
All right. I'm just asking this to make sure that, like, you know that you can choose to have a breathy voice the same way you can choose to have a creaky voice, the same way you can choose to have a voice right in between that's neither too closed or too open, right? That can be a little bit too breathy. So, yeah. Okay. I just want to hear your voice a little bit on those sentences. How about you read that very first sentence for me on the board?
All right. Hello. Good morning. How are you?
Hello. Good morning. How are you? All right. Sounds awesome. Great. Hello. Good morning. I wouldn't change the intonation here. It's pretty good. How about the next one?
Okay. I'll have a cup of coffee, please.
I'll have a cup of coffee, please. Maybe here on the Ian coffee, I'll have a cup of coffee. We did drop a little bit lower. Do you want to just give it another try? See if we can self-correct
Sure.
that? All right. Go for it.
Okay. I'll have a cup of coffee, please. How's that?
All right. That was better on the coffee. I'll have a cup of coffee, please. Maybe the please was a little bit darker here. Let's try this again. Try to make your please a little bit.
Okay.
Please, 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 please. A bit brighter.
Please. Okay, a little bit brighter. Got it. I'll have a cup of coffee, please. How's that?
Please. You're still doing that. Please. What's the pitch here? Ooh, C3. That can be quite low. Okay,
Oh,
so
yeah,
either
yeah.
we can work on brightening that please sound, or we can work on just getting it a bit higher. I think going for a higher pitch is less of a challenge because you already pretty much slay that range. So let's see if we can get that C3 to be as bright as we can. So
Okay.
you already know about the whispers practice, so we can do something like please, 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 please.
Okay. Yeah. Please.
Okay, and
Kind
then
of
from
like that.
here, yeah, just like that. You weren't like a B2. Oh yeah, B2 is getting pretty tough to feminize. All right, please. And now we go. Okay, low pitch here. Oh, we apply the resonance. Please, please.
Please.
Okay, very good. That's a lot brighter. But careful not to be too breathy here. Please. Instead, try to go more for a please.
Please.
All right, good. But with that does come a little bit more vocal fold mass. You get that, you went from like a please to a please, something a bit stronger. Still, I would say it's not too heavy that it sounds masculine, but it's kind of in that area. So generally with lower pitches, you just want to be careful because they can make really cool femme voices, like you can be talking all the way down here. Think like, for some of you who might have played that game, think like Baldur's Gate 3 narrator. Authority. Like those really dark tones in the voice, using that really low pitch. But that can very easily be mistaken for an androgynous or mask voice. So just generally be careful around that range. With all of that in mind, let's try to say that sentence again. I'll have a cup of coffee, please.
Okay. I'll have a cup of coffee, please.
Please. Okay, so whilst the resonance was good here, it sounded a little bit too softer. Okay. Interesting. Okay, how about we go for the next sentence?
Okay. I forgot to take my hormones.
I forgot to take my hormones. Very good. Awesome. Next one.
Oh, are you really sure about that?
Okay, are you really sure about that? Awesome. Very good.
Mm.
Next one.
I think I have a craving for pickles.
Interesting. Careful here. I think I have a craving for pickles. So that I here is quite breathy. Let's try to go instead for a I.
Okay. I think I have a craving for pickles.
That's a lot better. Awesome. Let's try the next
Okay.
sentence.
I totally agree with that.
Oh, very good. I totally agree with that. Okay, awesome. That. Oh, I totally agree with that. Okay. Very good. No preference here per se. Actually, quite the opposite. You get a lot of closure. I totally agree with that. Almost getting into that creaky sound. That.
yeah.
Right. All right. That's awesome. All right. How about the next sentence?
Oh, no, that can't be right.
No, that can't be right. Okay, so here I could let the whisper slide because it kind of feels like, it's trailing off, ... No, that can't be right. It kind of makes that stylistic choice really nice of breathiness. How about the next one and the last one?
Okay. Blahaj is my favorite shark.
Did you say blowhatch? Oh no.
Yeah.
It's okay. I forgive you. Oh no. Blowhatch. Okay, I don't know. Swedish is weird. It's not your fault.
Yeah.
Hey, Blowhatch is my favorite shark. All right, awesome. Very good. So the issue of your voice being really breathy kind of changed and it kind of phased in and out here in our practice. It did happen on, I think I have a craving for pickles. But you fix it on here. I totally agree with that. So whilst, your voice might not feel tired from doing a voice that's too breathy, and you can choose to do breathness as a stylistic choice, I do want to warn you that doing it too much, I don't know how much you speak with your voice per day. How much would you say you use your voice?
Oh,
A lot or not
a
so
lot.
much?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I have to talk a lot because I stream and stuff, and I also
Oh, that's
play
awesome.
competitive games, so I have to calm all the time.
All right. Okay, good. Interesting. But you're saying you calm also really with that breathy voice, or maybe you're a bit more direct. I don't know.
I usually am a little bit more direct, and one of the problems I have is I end up switching back to a more masculine voice
Yeah.
where I'm just like, "Hey, rocket slow, dive, dive, dive," like that kind of thing, you know.
Okay. What's that game? Rocket Slow, dive.
Marvel Rivals.
Oh, okay. I see. um, All right. Okay. So, yeah, generally speaking, I would say do try to stay away from, especially if you're a streamer and you speak a lot. I mean, outside of games, when you would engage with your chat, typically you'd want to not be that breathy too long. I don't know if you stream 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours a day, but it can be quite taxing. At least that's something that I know will make your vocal folds more dry, and dry vocal folds just will not cooperate as well as non-dry vocal folds, so hydrated vocal folds. There you go. I have the word.
Yeah.
So yeah, be sure to lower the channel points redeem of hydration to the bare minimum, so you always drink water. Really recommend that.
Yes.
It's not already done. Other than that, is getting a higher pitch something that you would want to look for, because right now we're generally in a more medium, more lower pitch range for a femme voice. Hello, good morning, how are you? Maybe you might want to achieve something like, hello, good morning, how are you?
I don't know, because I messed around with the higher pitch in the beginning, and now I'm kind of bringing it down into that middle range as a stylistic choice.
That's awesome.
I kind of like it. Yeah.
You don't like it, or you do like the lower pitch? You
Yeah,
do
I
like the lower pitch, but not so
lower
much
to
the higher
mid
one.
pitch range. Yeah, the higher one's a little bit more. Yeah.
It can be a bit more tricky. Okay, so what I would recommend is maybe in some cases, especially if you're a streamer, I don't know if you play a lot on the emotion and all of that, but if you do want to do higher pitches, keep in mind that higher pitches have the vocal folds vibrate a lot faster. Sometimes 200, 300 hertz, that means 300 times where it opens and closes. If you do a breathy voice, I see why lower pitches might be better, because it literally strains the vocal folds less because they vibrate less fast. But higher pitches, you're definitely going to want to work on not having those breathy, because speaking hello, good morning, that's going to kill your voice in a minute or two. Yeah. So yeah, that's just generally my general advice, because even if you're at low pitches, hello, chat. Good morning. How are you? You might want to do wow, Pog, that was amazing, and then go back to a lower voice. I don't know. That's I don't know if Pog is still relatable. Oh God, I don't know Twitch anymore. But yeah. Anyways, that's my advice for you. Just generally try to avoid breathiness for more vocal stamina. You can go for higher pitches, but do attempt not to go as breathy. And other than that, you're pretty good to go.
Okay, thank you.
Amazing voice already. And please, lawful piano, give her a big round of applause. All right. Well then, that will be the end of today's workshop. So we are quite over time, and I don't want to keep Rory too long. So do we have... I'm only going to take Discord questions today. So Rory, or 1B, sorry, I didn't see you there. Yes, your little egg, of course. No Discord questions? All right, well then, we'll be wrapping it up. There will be a next workshop the next weekend, so next Sunday. So stay tuned for that. Yeah, I'll just do the end of the workshop blurble. So, hey everyone, my name is Savvy. I teach voice feminization and
Voice masculinization.
I also teach stuff such as human beatboxing with sounds such as. So if you want to learn any of that, you can always, shoot me a message on Discord at savvy_sav for scheduling, etc., or pricing information. You can also join my own community of voice training called Scientifically Augmented Voice. You can click my name here above my head to join that Discord server. And get your review on your voice, or you can participate in Shadowable public lessons to ask questions over there. So I wish I had more time to answer some of your questions, but I do have to go now. Y'all have a great one. I'll see you in the next one. Bye, and thank you all.